this button comes in real handy when you have this. Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we're going to do a video on this 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 Custom. Has a 6.6 liter gas. You guys have been asking me to do a video on this truck for a long time, and today we're going to do that. Really quickly, be sure to subscribe to JB Reviews and make sure you have those bell notifications on, and be sure to check out my other channel, Attainable Exotic Cars. Now let's get back to the video. This Custom cost $49,000. I'm going to show you the window sticker here in a second, but the Custom slots above the work truck. So this is like the best bang for the buck trim level because you get a lot of nice like exterior features and a decently equipped interior. So on the note, let's take a look at the window sticker. Alright, so as I mentioned, here's the truck. Here is the standard equipment down below. Be sure to pause it if you need to see more. Now your base price is going to be $44,300, and as far as the options and features go, custom convenience package was $1,075, and here's everything included with that: spray and bed liner, trailering mirrors with heat, snowplow prep. You also have an infotainment package, and here's a few other things here. Now this truck is going to have a standard 373 axle ratio in the rear. Gross fuel weight is 10,650, which is upgraded from 10,000. 20-inch machine wheels are going to be included. And this truck does not have a lot of options, so that's why the price point is so low. Now you can get a Duramax for the Custom. When they unveiled this truck in 2020, you could not get that Duramax engine. Throughout this video, I am going to go over the changes for 2022. There's not a lot, guys, so I mean, like I said, I will kind of point them out. The first thing I'll point out is they did add a green color to the palette. So like if you would like a different color for the Silverado, if you already own one, if you want to upgrade to a 2022, you do have that color selection that was not available in the past. But on the Custom, if you were to get a different color, it would have a black lower bumper painted just like this one, and it looks really good. I like the two-tone accent with it, but on this truck, because it's black, it has it matching basically, and I think it looks amazing. Painted front grille. This is going to have just halogen headlights, incandescent turn signals. You don't have any fog lights, but they do provide tow hooks just below. I said this in another video, but because of GM being cheap, you do not have a functional hood scoop on the gas trucks, but if you do get the Duramax, that would be a functional hood scoop. I know a lot of guys don't like the front end of this truck, but I do like it. It's starting to really grow on me. Chevrolet spelt out, and I think it looks really aggressive. You don't see another truck looking like this on the road, and that's kind of why I like it. Now on the side here, you do have a standard 20-inch wheel, off-road tire, Goodyear Wrangler. I think they did a great job with this too. I love the wheel design. Now these tires you can get on higher trim levels too, and it is going to be an LT 275 65 20. And as far as the capacities go, so 3,750 pounds, kilograms is right here, 1,700 pounds, and an 80 psi's too. So this is a good tire, load range E, and you don't have to upgrade them if you plan on towing a trailer. These tires will do pretty good. You can see that you do have a fabric material in here too, easy to clean this out. GM trucks are notorious for putting an independent suspension up front. Really big sway bar right there. And yeah, I mean, this truck looks great. I mean, for this truck to be under $50,000, it's a great deal. Like if you need a truck, this is at Criswell here in Thurmont, Maryland. I mean, I'm sure they'll ship it to you if you don't live in this area, but this truck's not gonna last long at this price. And I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna sell it for that sticker, but you can get a HD truck for under 50 grand. I can tow like 16,000 pounds. Now, I know you saw on the window sticker it said trailering mirrors was like an upgrade. I would like to see a truck without these mirrors on it, see what it looks like. But you do have LED turn signals built in with some LED accent lights on the front. You do have some spotlights that are LED on this side if you're backing up your trailer. And these are going to be a manual adjustment if you need to tow a trailer. And if you get a higher trim level, this would be power, and you can just push a button inside the truck. This is the crew cab configuration. They do actually have bright emblems on the side, black door handles, and this cab is actually pretty big. And I do love the steps on the side of the bed. GM is like leading the way with that. They've always kind of done something pretty cool, and I like that they put one on the front of the bed and on the back too, especially if you need to lock in your gooseneck trailer. Just kind of step up right here and just kind of reach over and do it. Now out back, this truck does have leaf springs. If you were to get like a 3500, it would have overload leaf springs, but you have 5 leaves in the main pack, and this is a pretty good suspension for towing.
The standard box Silverados do have a 36-gallon fuel tank for the gas trucks.
The other new thing for 2022 is you do have the multi-flex tailgate available on all trim levels. So they did add that for 2022. They haven't had that tailgate on the HD segment, but on the 1500s they've had that tailgate. Okay, and I'll be sure to do a review on that once one comes available. And 4x4 badge on the side there. As far as the tailgate goes, here's the key fob. If you want to drop it, actually the key's inside the truck. This is the key for another truck. Hold on one second. Here's the right key. All right, so if you want to drop that tailgate, just hit the button twice. It's assisted for you. Now you cannot have it go back up. You have to get a higher trim level for that too. You do have a spray and bed liner. Looks great. LED lights on each side, and you do have LED lights up top here too. There is a 5th wheel prep package available for this truck, and tailgate's actually pretty easy to put up with just 2 fingers. And you have a camera and a light for hooking up your conventional trailer, 4 and 7 pin connector, class 5 receiving hitch, 2.5 opening, and here's the truck in the sun. There is no smart key system, none of that good stuff. Now we're gonna go back up front and I'm gonna show you guys under the hood, okay? Be sure to check out my video why I think the 6.6 liter gas is last place. I'll post it before this one, but this is going to be a 6.6 liter gas, and it's good for 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an ancient 6-speed transmission, which I think holds back this powertrain significantly, especially with it having a 373 rear end. I think that GM kind of screwed the pooch on this one. I don't like that term, screw the pooch. It's kind of nasty. Now, if you are getting inside this truck, the interior does look like the work truck, in my opinion. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, this is the only thing that kind of just looks really plain. It's a lot of black, you know, vinyl, hard plastics, actually, like up here. So it's not as nice. So if you would like something a little bit more classier, you'd have to step up to a LT. But this is not bad. Like, check this out. You still can power fold your mirrors for $49,000. That's a big deal on a basically a work truck. You have some bright features on the interior too, like around the vents on the AC. Tow haul mode, you don't have the sport and the off-road settings. You got to go to a higher trim level. You don't have automatic 4-wheel drive too. It's a big deal for me. I do like that function. Automatic headlights with the bed light. Electronic parking brake does come on when you do back up to a trailer automatically. And check out these seats too. These seats are kind of hard, but I actually like them a little bit firm, and I think they hold up well in GM trucks. But really, you can tell that this is a work truck from the inside, but when you look at it on the outside, it looks like a really nice truck. And like I said, stepping in, you do have a grab handle. You will need to use this if you don't add running boards. If my wife was driving with me in this truck, it would have to have running boards. And for the most part, we're not going to complain anymore about the interiors. I was kind of hoping GM was going to fix this, but they didn't. But you do have a screen here in the middle. There's a few items that you can check out. You do have to use this little guy in here. So we're going to scroll, trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, tire pressure, remaining oil life, air filter, brake pad life, transmission fluid, trailer brake, engine hours, units, or if you want to use metrics, and then nothing, back to the top at speed, and that's pretty much it. And the layout for the gauges, really clean, You got cruise control, and yeah, like I said, this is just very basic. This is kind of like hard plastic up here. Small storage. Rear view. You do have LED lighting inside of here. Up top, you have a glass for your beautiful woman, and you do have Apple CarPlay available for this truck too. Now, this system is pretty basic here. You do have your like trail light check. You do have like Wi-Fi, and as I mentioned, that CarPlay there. I don't want to take this off. You do have a button here for audio, and you could just hit home to kind of bring you back to this if you don't know where you are. You do not have dual climate control, just standard. And if you need to put all the windows down, they do have a button for you to do that. Now notice out back, you cannot slide that rear glass. So if you would like that option, you may have to move to a higher trim level, so just keep that in mind. As you saw earlier in the video, this button comes in really handy when it's 100 degrees outside. You can drop that tailgate by just pushing a button here. Cautions, traction control, and this is going to be for the plug in the bed. And look at all your plugs inside of here too. Trailer brake. I mean, there's just a lot of functions. You have two USBs, type A, type C. And because this is a custom, you do have a front bench, so you can make this a 6-passenger if you'd like. And one thing I want to mention, some of you guys keep yelling at me for slamming things. My mic is this way, so whenever you hear something louder, it's because the mic's facing that way. So whenever I'm pushing buttons and things, you're just hearing an amplified version of what I'm doing. So stop your whining. All right, so moving on. Here is your center console, and you have 2 cup holders here too. So you do lose these cup holders if, yeah, you have someone sitting here. Nice storage, maybe just for some like papers, things like that. And you do not have auto up and down windows on this side. It's only on the driver's side that they do that. Out back, you have the same designs on the doors, storage, and this is going to provide a 60/40 bench out back. I like that. Now they normally give you some storage in the seat backs, but they don't do it on this truck. You do have a flat floor surface, and if you have a big dog could easily sit on this side. And if you have a small child in the child seat, they can sit on that side still. It works really well. And your dog would be happy to have these little cool vents on the floor here. As I mentioned earlier, you have some LED lights, and they do give you a bump out for more headroom out back too. I really take the gas HD trucks very seriously when I do my testing, only because a lot of people have been converting back to gasoline from diesel. Back in the early 2000s, a lot of people were like all on board for diesel, but then our great government decided to add all these emission systems, and you know, now the diesel is kind of like the option that you almost have to really think about, because they're not cheap and they're not as reliable as they were in the past because of the urea and diesel particulate filter and AGR and all this stuff. But right now, this is the golden ticket in my opinion. I think that for a lot of people, you're not towing a lot, you really just need a truck to do some hauling and maybe tow your boat or your 32-foot travel trailer. I think that this is the way to go. I think that a lot of people have to give the gas engine a second look, especially now that the manufacturers have kind of gotten weak on us a little bit. I mean, they have to start standing up for, you know, us as a consumer. I mean, these trucks need to be reliable, they need to be like robust, and they need to have that savings at the pump for us. And I just feel like with the diesel, you just don't get that anymore. I feel like with the DEF and just all the issues that you could have with those systems, and that they make it illegal to delete them off the truck as well. I think that is bad business. And I think that the manufacturers should step up and stand and say, hey, like, we need to find a better way. So I do like this option for me. And if I ever decide to get a travel trailer in the future or something like that, I might look at a gas option for a little bit. So, but I am a hardcore diesel fanboy, so it'll be hard. Now, I just noticed that you do not have a telescoping steering wheel in this truck. I did not know that. So you only go up and down. But overall, these seats are not as comfortable as you would find in the Ford and the Ram trucks, but they're not bad. I think that the power delivery truck is heated up too, by the way, is decent. Let me go to a little slower speed. We are going to do a 0-60 run up top too here, but I just want to kind of give it one more grunt. When I first drove this truck, I feel like it had more power. I don't know. It doesn't feel as strong as it did in the past, but nevertheless, I think it's still a great option. You can buy this truck for under $50,000 MSRP. And had the world not run out of microchips, we would be able to probably get it for closer to $40,000. But, you know, here we are. But I think this is a good option. I mean, this engine is really quiet. This transmission is very, very reliable, because any issues they've had with it, they probably already fixed them, because this transmission's been out for, I mean, 2007, I think that's when this transmission, maybe not 2007, I can't remember. Don't hold me to that. I think that the 6-liter came out in 2007, but I don't know if they upgraded the transmission at the same time. But we're gonna do a 0-60 run here in a second, and I'm gonna switch cameras so you guys can see the speed and RPMs. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Around town, visibility is really good. I feel like the pillars out back, they're not so big, and the windows actually are pretty large out back too. You can see out pretty well. The suspension, because of being IFS, I feel as though, you know, it doesn't feel like a true heavy duty truck like they did 10 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. I think that Ram is still better if you get air suspension, but you have to spend like $1,700–1,800 to make that truck ride like this, basically, if not just a little bit better. Has a great turning radius, and even though this is a pretty big truck, you don't feel like you're driving a large pickup truck. I didn't mention this in the video, but this truck has like a almost 7-foot bed, you know, and I just don't feel like you are driving a big truck, I guess. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And, you know, even parking it, let's just see, I'm gonna pull in here. Like, even parking, we'll park next to a car here. Yeah, parking it's pretty easy. The mirrors give you good visibility. I think this is a really good option for somebody, you know, who just needs a cheap truck to tow their trailer. If I have time, I'll come back and do a video on this truck in the future, okay? And try to get some fuel economy numbers for it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to support this channel. The more you do that, the more I can go in and get more of this kind of footage for you guys. A lot of you guys have mentioned that you've enjoyed some of the new videos. A lot of that is coming from the weekends and like giving up time, so it would be helpful if you could really support this channel. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. But last thing I'll say is I would expect this gas engine to do probably around 16 or 17 mpgs. I think that GM's trucks do pretty good on the highway, but for the most part, like I said, I'll do a video in the future showing you guys those numbers. But I do like the fact that the transmission in this truck has been around for a long time. The 6.6 has great performance, as you just saw. And yeah, I mean, if you need an HD truck to tow, you know, a 10,000–15,000 pound trailer, this truck can do that. And on that note, I'm going to show you guys the payload and all the trailering information numbers on the door gem here. Alright, so for this truck, you do have a gross axle weight rating up front at 5,600 pounds. Your trailering information shows you your gross fuel weight rating at 10,650. That is upgraded from 10,000. You can downgrade it to 10,000 if you like. Gross combined weight rating is going to be 24,000 pounds. Rear gross axle rating is going to be 6,600 pounds. Curb weight is at 7,051. So this truck has a big payload at 3,599 pounds, almost 3,600 pounds basically, or basically 3,600 pounds. Conventional towing, 14,500, and it has a tongue weight advertised, I guess, at 1,450. Gooseneck is 16,620 with a advertised max tongue weight at 2,490. I say advertised because depending on how many passengers you put in this truck, depending on your hitch that you put in the bed of this truck, if you have a toolbox, an external fuel tank, those numbers you see here could probably go down or even up depending on however you look at it. So just keep that in mind. The last feature new for 2022 is the availability to now have a power seat in the Custom. Now, it will not be available until later in the year, but in the past they did not have that even as an option, so for 2022 you can get that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as I mentioned in the video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys soon.